Hi, my name is Paige. Welcome to my channel. You might not know this person beside me, but this is my boyfriend Troy, and he has been in many a video of mine, and he's now making another return for this video, which is called the Bookish Boyfriend Tag. I got this idea from Deanie Books and Gaming, where she plays games and talks about books, and I had the idea to kind of revamp this tag and turn it into sort of not a competition, but a back and forth between us, where he's going to ask me questions about his gaming preferences and I'm going to ask him about my bookish preferences and everything, and you know, we'll just kind of see who wins at the end.
It'll be me.
So scattered in here will be a couple questions about how we met, for example, and more just about our relationship and about him being my boyfriend. So without further ado, let's start off this tag. So the first question is, how long have we been dating? And I'm gonna like basically let you answer these kind of questions because it is the boyfriend tag. So.
We've been dating for 5 years and I don't know how many months, I'm not gonna lie, but we're getting there. We're getting there. We're nearing our
5.5 years.
6th year. Yeah, we're close. We're like 5 3/4 of the way to the 6th year. We're platform 5 3/4 of the way there.
The next question is, how did we meet?
So, ironically, I'm wearing a shirt related to how we met. I posted something on Instagram that was related to League of Legends, which is a great game. I was playing League of Legends, and then she liked my photo, and I was like, oh wow, like another, you know, like she had a whole profile based around gaming and stuff like that, and having fun with friends, and I was like, I could be one of those friends. And then we just started playing League of Legends together and like Skyping all the time, and then it was, I mean, from there it was pretty clear. I was like, this is the one. So yeah, that's how we met.
Yeah, I used to be a gamer girl. Hashtag gamer girl. Because I use the hashtag, and not that I'm making fun of that. I was the girl that used the hashtag gamer girl. So speaking of gaming and how we met, the next question is, how often do you read?
Not counting textbooks.
Oh, you don't read those?
Yeah, I don't read those either. Anyways, I don't read as often as I wish I did. You know, I take up my time gaming, doing several other things, but I mean, I've read a lot more in the past, I want to say year, since being introduced to, you know, different books through friends, through her.
Your first
Red Rising.
Wasn't me.
No. Red Rising was a life changer. I mean, she pressured me to read Red Rising. Brom.
Yeah.
Brom. The Child Thief is one of my favorite books in the world. But like Red Rising, I mean, the Red Rising.
Yeah.
Pretty much kicked that into the ground.
Well, in college, I ran the reading club, and to get it started, I became the president, and I made him my treasurer just so we'd have enough council members to exist, and he basically didn't have a choice in that, but I told him that I'd be very happy if he actually read the books that we chose every month, and that ended up pretty much pushing him to start reading, and we started actually with the audiobook for The Hate U Give.
Alright, vice versa, or something like that. How often do you game?
Okay, well, this is kind of like a weird question because it depends on how I'm feeling. So far this year, I have read 32 books, so I've been pretty busy with that. However, in the last, last month, okay, I've pretty much gamed every day. Now recently it's been a little bit, my gaming habits have been a little bit weird because I've been playing The Sims a lot and Minecraft, which I haven't played Minecraft like consistently for years, but it started again. I'm back on the train of it, but usually I'm playing Dead by Daylight or Destiny or just things like that.
Multiplayer. A lot of multiplayer games.
I rarely ever play single player, and I've rarely finished a single player game, but I do really like Tomb Raider a lot. So the next question is, what Hogwarts house are you in, and which one am I in? Because you should know this.
I should know this.
Yeah,
but it gets very confusing for both of us, okay? But I think I got this. I am in Slytherin, and I was very hard to accept at first, because my first... you know, the media lies to you, man. The media tells you that Slytherins are bad. They're all snakes. They're all slithering around in the grass. But they're just ambitious. Did the most Slytherin thing in the world and tried to retake the test to get another house, and I got Slytherin again. So, I mean, that's the Slytherin thing to do. And you are in Ravenclaw, because, I mean, you're very bookish. You're very intelligent, very calculated, calm. Calculated? Am I a serial killer? Wise. No. Let's not get things mixed up here. I'm the serial killer. You're cold, calculated. I'm Slytherin. I'm the serial killer. Okay. But you're very wise. It's, you know, you're associated with wisdom and stuff like that. Okay. But what house am I actually in? What house you're actually in? Yeah. You're actually in Gryffindor. Yeah, basically I self-identify as a Ravenclaw because I am not a brave person. That's just the truth of it. I'm scared of literally everything. So I don't understand how I got Gryffindor. I guess I'm a nice person, but wouldn't that just put me in Hufflepuff? I don't know. So, anyway, that's how that works. Now, the question that is part of this is, should I be in that house, or would you put me in another house? Or just choose between those two if you think. Not to make direct comparisons to characters, but just knowing that Hermione is someone that exists in Gryffindor. It makes sense to me that you would be like, you know, maybe some sort of character destined to be in Gryffindor for your, like, bravery. I could see you, like, helping, being, you know, like, brave and heroic to help someone in need, and at the same time being someone like Hermione. That kind of sways my decision in thinking you're in Gryffindor. Not that, like, Ravenclaw doesn't have heroes, it's just like there's more of a focus on Gryffindor to be like that house that, like, is always doing something to help someone. So, but as far as that question goes for you, I don't think you belong in Slytherin. I just don't. If anybody who actually knows Troy knows that he just doesn't belong in Slytherin. Like, you might pretend, you might have people that are like, yeah, evil, but like green's a really nice color to wear. You're not even ambitious. You're not. Like you're very not like you don't go for what you want, but you won't like kill anyone, or you won't like do anything to anyone else to get what you want. Yeah. That's kind of what you have to be ambitious. Yeah. You know what I mean? If I'm being honest, I don't know, I don't want to sway your decision. What house do you think I'd be in? I think you would probably be in Gryffindor. No, I don't think you would be in Hufflepuff, even though I really like Puffs, but... Puffs are adorable. I don't think that you would fit there completely, because you do have a little bit of a temper. Yeah. A little bit, not very much. I have a Harry Potter... You have a tude sometimes. I have a Harry Potter temper. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's like Harry Potter. That's like, don't talk about my mom! Yeah. I don't know. I don't think that's a direct quote. Don't quote me on that one. Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling, 2019. So the next question is, what is my most anticipated book, I don't know, coming up, being released? Alright, considering I want to say Dark Dawn, because I feel like you and Emily have, I mean, Nevernight is an incredible book. Yeah, I mean, is that even... Okay, well, see the problem with you not exactly knowing this question is the fact that I just said this in my last video. Like I answered this exact question in my last video, and I did mention Dark Dawn, so you know, at least you got something, you know what I mean? But the next Sarah J. Maas book. No, my most anticipated book release was Call Down the Hawk by Maggie Seawater. And that's the end of the Booktube boyfriend tag, because I'm no longer her boyfriend. Yeah, well, it's fine. You got like a book that a book that is coming out that I want. To be fair, I don't think she's gonna get the vice versa, the backwards opposite I think I situation. Will. Ask me the question officially. Okay. What is my most anticipated video game? Man of Medan. I mean,
right?
that's everyone's anticipated.
That doesn't count. No, it has.
Give me a second one. What's my second most
No,
anticipated?
that's not fair. I got it the first time. That's why he's
She got it the first time.
Yeah, thank you.
That's the worst.
I could probably think of another one though.
That's not
I
fair
know you're
though.
looking forward to Borderlands 3. Anyway, we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that one. We'll leave it at that one.
So the next question is, what was the last book I read? I actually can't remember this. I'm trying to think of what it was.
I can't remember.
Wait.
I want to say...
Oh, you'll never get this.
I'll never get it?
Maybe not. Maybe you will.
That's rough. I don't know what the name is, but I feel like it was that book with the book that in that one review you said you didn't really care for the 3D-ness of the cover. No?
Mm-mm.
I know you've been reading the Scorpio Races.
I have been reading that.
I lose this one. I'm losing.
The last book I read was Stillhouse Lake by
Oh,
Rachel
yeah.
King. Yep. That was the last book I read.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't know you finished it.
Okay.
So what was the last game I played to completion?
So the last game I remember was Spider-Man, because you actually like played the whole way through and finished it. You didn't finish Sinking City yet?
Oh no. Let me know when you give up.
I can't. I don't know.
The last game that I beat, as far as I know, okay, it was a hard tie between a game that you probably never would have guessed, which is Fire Emblem Awakening. You never would have gotten that. But one that you should have gotten is Wolfenstein New Order.
Oh my god.
Wolfenstein is the last game that I beat. It sparked me splurging on Doom and Wolfenstein 2 and all sorts of other games. I just like splurged just all my money.
That's not fair.
Yeah.
So the next question is, what is my favorite book?
Favorite book?
Yeah.
This is rough because it's like, I know who your favorite author is, but does that technically mean that that book that I know of is your favorite book of all time? Not necessarily. I'm going to say The Summoning by Kelly Armstrong.
Okay. Sentimentality wise,
Yeah.
that's my favorite series. Like, because it holds a lot of... I actually had a nightmare recently where all of my books burned, and the only books that I seriously like wanted to cry about was that series, because I don't know if you guys are like this, but I obviously am a book collector, you know. I try to take care of my books, but... Stop!
That was pretty cool. She calls on the animals.
Anyway, the most beat up of my books are like my most cherished, so...
My second guess would maybe be Harry Potter, and even though that sounds so like, not really general, not saying Harry Potter fans are general, she listens to the audiobook like so much. Like, just like, she just has Harry Potter marathons. She's like, we're gonna do a movie marathon, and then we finish the movie marathon, and she's like, time to read the books. Then she'll do the audiobooks, and then she'll be like, did we do a movie marathon? And I'm like, we did that yesterday. And then she's like, alright, well, let's do it again. So, like, I'm gonna say Harry Potter as well.
Yeah.
But, what is my favorite game? My all-time favorite game. Like, top of the pedestal.
Well, I'm gonna answer with Oblivion. Because your favorite game series is Dark Souls.
Yes.
But I'm not gonna pick out a specific Dark Souls that you like the most, because you literally play them back to back.
Oblivion is spot on. Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, if you don't really know what that game is, or if you didn't identify it by Oblivion,
Yeah.
Is my all-time favorite game. I mean, I can come back to that game. It's like, not very dated, but like, dated. It's a very old game, but just, you know, you have so many people that appreciated the changes in Skyrim, but like, when you go back and play Oblivion, man, I mean,
Yeah.
I could play that for days.
The next question I feel like is pretty easy, but what is my favorite book genre?
I'm going to go ahead and say that you're really into fantasy, but as a whole, YA.
YA fantasy, I mean, that's pretty correct. I mean, now I'm probably steering a little bit more away from YA, generally, but...
What's my favorite game genre?
I mean, you like, RPGs.
Mm-hmm. And I will also add in, my second favorite is horror. So the way I feel about horror games is the way she feels about mystery, I'm sure. It has to be like really good for her to be like, oh man, that was good. Like with a horror game, I don't want to play some indie game where like a ghost is flying around. Like I want to play like a game where I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm the villain the whole time, or something crazy like that.
Yeah. So the next question is, how much time do I spend reading?
I would say, like, let's see, in a 24-hour period, you might spend maybe like 10 or 11 hours of your day reading. I mean, you can maybe cut that time in half and say like 5 hours of the day you're reading.
Yeah, I guess so. Not 10 hours though.
Yeah.
Rarely 10 hours.
This question is entirely different for me. How much time do I usually spend gaming?
So I would say, in a day where he doesn't have to go to work,
Oh my.
I like want to say like 12 hours.
And that's probably
Maybe
really,
more.
that's probably
Maybe
really
more.
pushing the minimum, honestly.
Yeah, that's probably more.
Yeah. I sometimes don't realize that I'm gaming
Yeah.
the entire day. I literally just do it. I find mobile games if I
Yeah.
can't play. I find I have handheld games. If I don't generally want to be on the like actual PlayStation, I'll just walk around with my DS or something. Yeah.
So the next question is, what is one thing you notice about my reading habits?
This is really personal, but I think it's hilarious. She has this unnatural, like not unnatural. She has this naturally changing facial expression throughout like parts. So like, if it's a part of the book that's like not generally that happy or something, or like there's no action going on, she'll just be your average person, just reading a book, straight face. But if there's like even like a hint, and I'm gonna try to imitate it, if there's like even a hint of like something cute or happy or like sarcastic, like she likes what the character's doing, this is how she's looking at the book. With like a very small smirk, and it just keeps creeping further and further. She's just like, the longer she stares at the page, at this point I could just look at her and she gets mad because she already knows what I'm looking at. Other than that, other reading habits, I mean, I feel like this is for most book readers. Paige somehow turns off her eardrums when she's reading. Like, I don't really know how she does it, but it's almost like there's like a biological system where her ear canals just close. Because there could be like a full-on like gun battle and like a war outside, and she's just reading a book. What are some of the gaming habits that you notice about me?
Well, one gaming habit that really annoys me is you always skip dialogue. And I understand, like, in some games, like, I skip dialogue sometimes too when there's like too much of it. But like in those kind of games where the story is actually really interesting, for example, like in The Witcher, like maybe seeing Yennefer for the first time or something, like you just,
I don't know. That's, see, here's where I'll defend myself. I've noticed that I had that habit. So, especially in a game like The Witcher, so like for example, any scene that included any of the main characters, like main cast, like Yennefer, Triss, Dandelion, I tried not to skip anything that they were saying. I tried to like watch the whole scene because it was almost like a movie. I was being immersed in it. Whenever I'm talking to an NPC and he's like, "Oi! There's a dragon over there." I'm like, no, I don't want to talk to that guy. Like, skip. How much money are you giving me? Okay.
Yeah,
boom,
no, that skipping I understand. No. But you used to like just skip the entire book.
I mean, I actually remember not even understanding what was happening in Kingdom Hearts 2 because of how much I skipped when I was a kid. I literally had no idea. Like, I was fighting a boss, and I was like, why is this guy fighting me? I thought he was a good guy 2 seconds ago. And then, like, I realized that it's just because I skip everything.
You're gonna drool on me. I can feel it.
Any other gaming habits you think I have?
You also won't play certain games if you're not in a very specific position. Like, he has to be, like, if he's going to play, like, for example, on the TV, you have to be in a specific seat, reclined. And everything has to be a very specific way for you. Yeah.
Like, I won't play a computer game unless I'm like seated at a table with a chair.
Yeah, exactly. The next question is, what book should I read soon? So you've seen a lot of the books on my shelf. You know basically kind of the books I haven't read, sort of. So can you think of a book that you've seen me get, or that, you know, you've seen at the store that you're like, you should read this? As
of extremely recently, I'm interested in you reading Pan's Labyrinth. It's Pan's Labyrinth. Also, I'm very interested in you reading that book series that is about I think it's three sisters, three Dark Crowns. Yeah, I'm very interested in her reading that, just because I remember reading that synopsis and I was like, oh wow, like this would be super cool for her to read. So what game do you think I should play sometime soon? Well, I want you to play Detroit Become Human. Okay, yeah. Yeah, and he also has a streaming channel on Twitch if you are interested in that. So I think he'll actually be streaming that soon, because right now he's playing Sinking City. But I want you to play Layers of Fear very badly. I've always loved horror games. Like Silent Hill is one of my favorite game series, but I've never actually played a Silent Hill game because I have extreme anxiety about playing horror games. So the next question is, I actually think one of Deanie's, and basically I'm asking you, what book world would or should I live in? I won't say Harry Potter because, you know, they're a lot younger. I would have to, like, I don't know, regress your age. I would just be a working wizard, I guess. Yeah. If I was even a wizard. If you were even a wizard. But if I were to put you in a particular world, I think it would be ACOTAR, like the ACOTAR universe. Yes. That's what I would have answered with. So, like, you don't have to necessarily be Feyre, but you would love to just be in that realm, I'm sure. Yeah, I would enjoy that, yes. Wait. Going off of that though, since you put me in that world, what court would you put me in? Oh. You want me to list the courts for you? List the courts for me. Okay. Here we go. We have summer. Okay. Winter. Mm-hmm. Autumn. Mm-hmm. Spring. Mm-hmm. You have a day court, dawn court, the night court. You would put me in the night court? Well, like, I don't know too much about the night court, but I mean, the night court is clearly the coolest court. So okay, so night court. I would throw you into the night court. That's good. I'm cool. I mean, you're into like moons and stars and stuff, but like I've never heard you freak out about the sun, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say night court. Freak out about the sun. Wow, the sun. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and say night court. Boom. Night court. What game universe should I live in? I have like a general idea, but I don't know if it's like the most obvious answer. I don't know. See, like, because like my favorite games, that is not even a good representation. I would never want to live in Oblivion. I would hate to be in Oblivion, or the Elder Scrolls universe as a whole, because, I mean, and this isn't just towards, like, human races, but the entire series as a whole, everyone's racist. If that's not the worst part, I could also get killed by a mud crab. Well, I don't think, you wouldn't put yourself in Dark Souls. I would. That would be the most miserable experience, like, ever. In Dark Souls, I would pretty much be one of two people. I'd be the chosen undead, whose life sucks. Yeah. No matter who you are in Dark Souls, or I'd be literally any other character in Dark Souls. And die. Which sucks. Yeah. So, you wouldn't be in there. You wouldn't be in Wolfenstein, because once again, not a good time. Witcher would be fun. Dope. Yeah, if you lived, really fun. Yeah, if I was a Witcher. Well, even if you were anybody else living in like the town, you have to be a Witcher. Living in like a city, and encountering Geralt, or even Dandelion. Oh yeah, Dandelion would be pretty chill. I'd probably be friends with Dandelion. Yeah. So I'd be hanging out with him all the time. I'm gonna go with Witcher. So that was the end of the regular tag questions, and I just thought, since it's clear that both of us, you know, he reads sometimes and I game pretty often, we should do the opposite. We should switch a question around for the last question, and I'm gonna ask you, what game should I play next? See, I don't want to say Tomb Raider because you're already kind of invested in the Tomb Raider universe. I will say of the games that I have played personally that I want you to play, I would honestly say Tales of Vesperia. I saw how much you enjoyed Tales of Exilia, and she played it all the way through, and that was so long, and there were so many redundant fights.
It was. There were so many rematches.
Yeah, many rematches, many matches where she was freaking out because she was fighting multiple, like, older bosses at the same time.
Yeah.
But that being said, I think Tales of Vesperia, I'm a little, like, biased because of Troy Baker, but I feel like you would enjoy that game so much. It was such a good game. I'm so happy they remastered it and brought it to the Switch and the PS4 and all that, because it's just such a good game. See, I would say Dark Souls, but there's no way in the universe.
Nope. It's a combination of everything I hate.
I need a Souls buddy.
It's a combination of everything I hate.
Souls buddy.
It's very hard, very challenging, you die a lot, and it is terrifying. Very scary. I find it very scary. I'm trying my hardest to complete Bloodborne with my best friend, Andrew, so that we could finally move on to the Souls series, because I don't have a Souls buddy besides him. Hurts. Hi, Andrew. Hi. So, what book should I read? Well, I've already told you a few books that you should read, so I'm definitely gonna say Six of Crows. You already know that. There we go. I knew that was the first. I already knew that was the first one. He needs to read Six of Crows. I mean, it's like the pinnacle of YA fan. There was YA fantasy. And it's just really great. Action-packed, really strategic, great cast of characters. There's even a really good audiobook. I also think you would really like The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I really think you would like that. It's pretty gory. It also has like a really awesome magic system, sort of, or like a magical lore that I think you would like. Very tactical, like Chinese inspired. If you haven't guessed, there's a direct pattern between the fact that I play nothing but video games and I read books that are basically video games. So. Yeah. So, those are my suggestions. You gave me your suggestions. I'm not really sure if anyone won this. Yeah, I would say no one won, but I definitely lost. A few of them, you know, you definitely tripped up on. But I didn't get a couple, or one. Yeah, I think the problem is our difference in personalities. If you're reading a book, you're just kind of reading it, you know, you're having a good time reading it. I'm, like, too talkative when it comes to games. Like, you will never, you'll never not know that I'm playing a game. Yeah. So, that's the end of this video. In the description, I will link his Twitch so that you can go and see that if you're interested. I will also link Deanie's video. Thanks, Deanie. Yeah, thank you. And hopefully the original video. Yeah, so that was the video for today, and I will see you again on Saturday. All right. Bye.